Hello and welcome. My name is Merely Adequate, and you're here to learn about pulse delays. So let's get going. The first pulse delay is the most obvious and gets used in like 90% of all builds. All you gotta do is use the extension on a repeater. So if you push the button, it does that. If you extend the repeater, it gives it a little bit of a delay before it goes. And then if you string a whole bunch together, you get a much longer delay. There it is. Not much to it, not much to explain, no reason to really rebuild it for you. It's pretty obvious, and you've probably already guessed this one. So we're gonna move on to number 2. The reason for this second one is that you may run out of room if you have to extend a long distance with a whole lot of repeaters back and forth. You may run out of room. So if you need something a little bit more compact that will allow you to get the same results, or excuse me, for a longer extension, you can use this one. And as the item flows through the spider web, slowly dropping, and when it gets to the end, it will trigger the tripwire and then providing the signal to where it needs to go. And then obviously all you have to do to get much longer is just raise this up a little, 2 or 3 spider webs taller, and you can get a lot of time without a whole lot of room. It's really just this 5x2 space here. And so yes, this is a really compact way to get a much longer signal strength. Not quite as adjustable. You know, here it's extremely adjustable. You are limited to 1 per spider web per extension of time, but it is a good way to do a really long delay without a lot of room. Okay, number 3, you may be saying, well, we already have everything we need in 1 and 2, and that's kind of true. But with number 3, what you get is you get multiple options. So if you want to trigger multiple things at a time on one delay, you can do railroad tracks. And there's so many different ways you can go about this, but generally what you're using are these detector rails. And so you get your cart moving, triggers, 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 and there you go. You get 3 triggers per every push, and they're all delayed. Obviously, by changing how many speed rails, or I always forget the name of them, powered rails, then you can change how fast or how slowly it goes. You can have this going up and around a whole contraption. But this is the most versatile if you're needing to trigger multiple things off of one button push and you need to delay them spaced out. And that is the third pulse extension, or pulse delay, excuse me. Number 4 is really just for show. You get the same results with what you have down there, but I love this one. It's so fun. So here we go. We're just going to pop out an item. It's going to flow around wherever we want it to go. And then when it drops back in, there we go. We get the signal. So the cool thing about this one is it's really good for builds when you want your mechanisms and devices to be on display. So you pop out an item, you have it go up a bubble column, down, around, up, through, anywhere you want it to go. Finally, it drops back where it's going to go, and your device is triggered. It's really a showpiece here is what we're talking about. So this is kind of limitless. It's anywhere you can get an item to flow. As you see here, we got a simple circle around. We are using the half slab to stop the water and then to continue on afterwards. And we're using the ice underneath it for the item to quickly and easily go right past. Not swim. I wanted to say swim. Float. So it floats right past and moving on. Obviously, you can have this drop into a bubble elevator and have it go up and then around and down and back through and all kinds of things. And yes, this is the showpiece. This is something where you want to spend a little bit of time using trapdoors, to make, tubes or glass or anything that would be really cool visually in your space. The fifth pulse delay is probably best used as some kind of a game timer, because the way it works is we've got items, however many you want to put into this hopper, and this comparator is reading this hopper. So as long as there are things in it, the pulse, the redstone back here is off. So we will push the button, it'll unlock the hopper, and as soon as the hopper is empty, it triggers the redstone, pushing it back, locking, and leaving this signal on. So if you wanted to do some sort of firework display or redstone lamps or something that indicates end of game, this would be a perfect one to use for a countdown timer pulse delay for a game. Let's actually build this one together. All right, we'll start with the chest. I like to put it in the ground, but you don't have to, with a hopper on top of it. Great, just like that. And then we want the comparator coming out of it, and a repeater, and a solid block. And then coming out of the back of the solid block, we've got a redstone torch, just like that. Okay? Then beside the redstone torch, we're going to want to put a redstone dust, and this will be where you'll be grabbing your signal from. So you can come out here with it, or whatever works for you to trigger your device. Okay? Flowing back, we're going to use a repeater. Then we're going to put a piston facing back this direction. Uh-oh, I am triggering the repeater. Hold on. And no! There we go. We're going to put redstone block right there. And then we're going to put another piston right there. And then lastly, I almost forgot to get it, we're going to put the button. I'm going to put the button directly on to the piston. You obviously don't have to do that. You can have your signal source go way out here, wherever you want to do your triggering with a button anywhere, as long as it flows into this piston. Lastly here, let's see, do I have, I don't have a bunch of items. I'll grab it from over here. Oh, that's right, we used it. Okay, we'll grab these 16 items. It doesn't have to be 16, it can be any quantity that you choose to use. And then go. And there we are. See, this is off. And then whenever it drains, it comes on and your countdown is over. And that is it. Very simple. That's 5 simple or elaborate if you choose to make it elaborate. These can be as big and fancy as you choose for them to be, but very simple to design and use pulse delays. So many people just use repeaters when they're looking for pulse delays that they kind of forget the other options they have. So that's why I wanted to make this video. It's short and simple compared to some of the other ones, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew that there are more options out there than just making a whole row of repeaters. And so I hope this sparked your imagination. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you found it adequate.